Mgtow is freedom. Welcome to the channel. I'm John, the host. I want to thank you guys for coming back for another exciting episode of What's on My Mind. And I want to thank you for always, you guys that comment, sharing what's on your mind. That's great for people who come here for the first time. And if you're a first timer, click the subscribe button and the bell next to it. But for first timers, they get to read all those comments also. They get to watch the video, read the comments, respond, learn more about Mgtow, men going their own way, what this is all about. But let's talk about Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly is that really hot chick. She's in her 40s and she's still hot. And I know it's makeup, lighting, camera angles, camera lenses, right? But that seems to be what she's noted for. How beautiful she is, right? She's a news broadcaster, a news presenter, an opinion piece, right? She does our op-eds or editorials and opinions on Fox News. Well, she's gone now. She resigned. And that really brought up a lot of thoughts for me, right? She failed. Ultimately, she failed. And I want to go over how Megyn Kelly failed. She was replaced by Tucker Carlson. I've watched Tucker for years, right? And now it's his show. He's in that time slot. Tucker used to wear a fucking bow tie, right? Good for Tucker. He did what he wanted, right? He's a fucking nerd, too, right? Good for Tucker. He's a nerd, and he'll get on TV and say, hey, look at me. I'm a fucking nerd, without even saying it. Man going his own way, Tucker? Possibly. At least he's man enough to go up, right, and put himself out there. But he's replaced Megyn Kelly, and his time slot is producing more. It's getting more views, more participation. Right, it's more popular than Megyn Kelly, who apparently her primary selling point was how good looking she was. Typical, isn't it? That's just fucking typical of women in the news. They snuck in as weather bunnies. Then they were there because of window dressing, need to have women, and then it became policy to have women in there. And now they're all over the fucking place. Right now they're sportscasters. Now they're sitting on panels. They fucking violated or I guess violated is a great word. How about infiltrated, right? They've invaded the man's world, including news, right? She pretends to be some intellectual thinker. But she's just proven herself to be a fucking mouthpiece that looks good. And now that she's gone, she completely failed. She blew it. Fox and all of us have discovered that Megyn Kelly really was nothing more than a pretty face. You could get anyone to sit in that fucking chair, in that time slot, on that channel, and fill seats, right? I could go there. There'd be bums in seats watching and listening to me. She didn't do anything fucking great. She just looked good. With her big doe eyes, surrounded with black makeup, her hair, everything splendid. Fuck, you could make me look like a supermodel if you put me in that chair, because they would put makeup and shit all over me, do my hair, give me the bright suit, right? Shine the right lights and use the right lenses, and then write my script for me even, right? Give me talking points at least. And I could sound like a fucking genius on Fox. Megyn Kelly isn't anything. All she proved herself to be is a selfish, gold-digging whore. That's right, a selfish, gold-digging whore. She used her looks to get what she could from men as viewers, right? Except she wasn't saying anything that really worked and made sense. And so she was losing viewers. That is, her mind was not worth anything to us. It was going away. Even though she was in an excellent time slot on a great channel, she was losing viewers because she's a fucking dipshit between the ears. That's my opinion of her, right? But the fact is she was losing viewers. She failed, right? She went up against Trump. People didn't want to hear that, right? They wanted to see her act and be pretty and say the right things, and she couldn't even do that. Now, here's something interesting. I heard, right? It was reported that, I should say, she turned down a 4-year contract for $100 million. Now, the argument was made that she wants to, or the argument was made. The notion was put out that she wanted to spend time with her children and that she didn't want to give up. She wanted to give up her job because it was interfering with her personal time. I'm going to argue against that in two ways. Megyn Kelly fucking lied if she said that. It's a fucking lie. There's no way. I cannot believe, based on her behavior, for two reasons. Number one, she could film ahead of time earlier in the day her show and have it broadcast later. So she didn't have to be in the fucking studio at 9 o'clock or 6 o'clock or whenever it was. She could have filmed it ahead of time. The news cycle is not so fast that what she learned at 3 wouldn't matter at 6. Give me a fucking break. Right? So she could have recorded it ahead of time and spent all the time with her little crumb crunchers. So that's a lie. The other part is that when you look at a woman like Megyn Kelly, she's in her 40s, right? So she's been doing news on Fox since she was at least in her mid-30s, mid to late 30s. What does that tell us? She is a driven woman. She's a feminist because she hates Trump, and she couldn't hide it anymore. So she is a driven, corporate, money-loving, feminist, anti-penis news reporter using her looks to make sure she gets good jobs. And the fact that she's a lawyer, right? She probably threatened or at least let everyone else know, hey, I'm a woman and I'm a lawyer, and if you fucking piss me off, I'm coming after you. Right? So she used that. I mean, who really gives a fuck what Megyn Kelly has to say? There's a million women out there that have probably more to say, more intelligent than her. But she got herself in that position. Why would a woman so driven all of a sudden want to give up $100 million for the next 4 years? And that doesn't mean she has to live in the fucking studio 24/7, 365. It just means she has to do her fucking job. So something else was going on. She got fucking ran out of that job eventually for some reason, whatever it was. She couldn't hold it. Right? So I don't know if I believe this story about $100 million and she gave it up. I think that story was told to make her sound magnanimous and proper. I think she's running because she's failing. She's hit the news wall. Megyn Kelly hit the news wall and was failing. Right? Her good looks couldn't hold her up. Just like in your life, when you've got a woman giving you a bunch of fucking shit in your ear, you're like, hey, you've hit the wall with me. Right? Whatever you were valuable for is now over. It's over. You're done. Whatever Megyn Kelly was doing, it's over. She's out of there. Megyn Kelly, feminist? Question mark, right? Megyn Kelly, dipshit? Definitely. All she had to do was shut her mouth about things she thought and just report the fucking news. But she wanted to be special. Right? She wanted to make her mark. And her mark is that she failed. She got to the good seat, the big chair, and the big money, and she couldn't fucking do it. And yeah, I know there's a lot of other men and women that couldn't as well. But Megyn Kelly was supposed to be super mom and super news reporter and super brilliant. Fail, fail, fail. And Tucker Carlson, presumably